Don't know about that. They ain't just falling all over the place. Got to find me something to make that a little bit more stable. Whoa, falling. So today we're talking about standing on the square and point. Today's conversation, today's topic is about standing on the square and point. So as we get into this conversation, first of all, I want to send a big shout out to women of distinction chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star working out of Houston. Women of distinction. Last night we did a live Zoom. Uh, Man, it was awesome. I would say these ladies of the Order of the Eastern Star are truly on their point. I'm going to say this again. Women of distinction, you are truly on your point. You brought a lecture last night like no other. I'm looking forward to the next three lectures that we are doing with the Order of the Eastern Star. Like I said, each sister and brother has taken a point on the star to do a lecture about, and these sisters have really set the standard for doing such a thing, and I really appreciate them. So we're going to get right into this conversation today, standing on the point and on the square, standing on the square, on the point. But whatever you're doing, you're standing on it. Your foundation is strong enough to hold you up. So that's going to be the topic today. Greetings everybody who's coming on. I want to say how much I appreciate you for tuning in and really having these types of conversations, things that most do not really want to talk about or turn ahead to. I would say this too, for point of reference. A lot of brothers don't want to really have anything to do with the Order of the Eastern Star at times because of whatever they may see or whatever, however they may feel. A lot of brothers of Freemasonry do not want to have anything to do with the sisterhood or the Order of the Eastern Star. But for those of you who do, and for those sisters who understand not just their place, but understand how the organization runs better when you have a grand chapter or grand lodge or a chapter and lodge working together, it really, really works to promote what the organization is all about. And please, whatever you do, we're all adults in this organization of Freemasonry and Eastern Stars. Please maintain respect for the people that you elect into these positions. Until it's time to vote them out, then you vote them out. But maintain some dignity and respect along the way. So as we begin our topic for today, just want to send a big shout out to those who are going to be attending the gala coming up real soon. And I'll get you some more information on that. And if you're planning on coming to the Creation in the Desert in April in Vegas, I'm looking forward to seeing you. If you plan on coming to the Raising in the Desert, April the 28th, we're going to be in Vegas for like 3 days, fellowshipping with True Kinsman Lodge #1 and Faith Lodge #11, working out of Las Vegas up under the most wishful John G. Jones Grand Lodge of California. We're looking forward to that great fellowship and the creation of nobles. It's going to be a long weekend, but a very enjoyable weekend. So let's get into this topic today, standing on the square and point. There are a lot of individuals in your chapter, in your lodge, that causes conflict. They may not even know that they're causing conflict, but because they do, it causes disharmony within the lodge and the chapter. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how is that so? Well, you have individuals that are part of these lodges and chapters. They don't pay any dues, but they're still yet somehow able to be part of the different chat groups, be part of the different Facebook groups, but they don't pay any Masonic dues. They're really not active, but they're active, and yet they tend to cause the most chaos. These individuals like that do not read their constitution nor do they read their chapter bylaws or Grand Lodge bylaws, either way, but they like to quote things from, whether it be Maccas jurisprudence, whether it be any of the Masonic work that they may have at their disposal. They'll quote things real quick. But I'm here to tell you that although you may have a Maccas jurisprudence, if your Grand Lodge bylaws or your chapter bylaws are in Constitution, they super exceed that. It's a fact. Your Grand Lodge bylaws in your Constitution, if you have a Constitution separate from your bylaws, they should super exceed Maccas jurisprudence. Macca is a book that is used for guidance. You can select some of those things out of there and use them for the betterment of your chapter or your Grand Lodge. Some brothers be like, how can the sisters use Maccas jurisprudence for the betterment of their chapter? Look in it. Go back and look into Maccas and see, can this help that chapter? Go back and look at it. If it can help your lodge, it can definitely help your chapter. Now, mind you, I get it. The Order of the Eastern Star have their own landmarks, just as the brothers have their own landmarks. However, you will find that most Grand Lodges do not abide by all of those landmarks. They don't. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Most Grand Lodges do not abide by all those landmarks. Some do, some don't. But if your Grand Lodge has a constitution which is separate, should be separate from your bylaws, it should function quite well. It should go hand in hand. You should be able to use some of the things out of Mackey's to better your chapters, your Grand Lodges, your foundation of the lodge. You should be able to do that and keep it moving. You know, but what happens a lot of times, it doesn't go hand in hand. A lot of people don't do it. They don't do it. Brothers of the Craft, you do not run the chapter. You don't run it. The sisters run the chapters, okay? The sisters run the chapter or the Order of the Eastern Star. Your job as a patron in that chapter is to make sure that the sisters know the work. And how are you going to do that if you don't even know the work? If you don't know the work of the Order of the Eastern Star, how are you going to teach the sisters to know their work? How are you going to teach them to be proficient? I would say this to a patron. The best thing you can do as a patron of the Order of the Eastern Star is to sit and learn the works, and when you become proficient, then you can give better instructions, okay? But even before that, your job is to maintain harmony within the confines of that chapter. That's why the brothers are truly there until they learn the works. Now, in some jurisdiction, it may work a little bit differently, but I'm just saying within the confines of the state of California, this is how we operate. You go in, you want to make sure you maintain harmony within that chapter. Once you become proficient in the Eastern Star works, you can lend a little extra voice to that worthy matron and counsel her on the order, because now you are just as proficient as she is. Plain and simple. Here in the United States, a lot of times a chapter is connected to a lodge which is close to her, and sometimes it can be farther away. It varies. It depends on the structure of that Grand Lodge and how they're able to assist these sisters. Now, with that being said, some Grand Lodges have lodges all over the place, so they may be better and able and more proficient in giving assistance to the chapters who may need to have a patron or associate patron, okay? With that being said, when you look at the framework of the Order of the Eastern Star, when you look at the framework of Freemasonry, when you have individuals in there that doesn't contribute to the health of the organization, you're going to find chaos. Greetings, everybody who's coming on. Greetings, I appreciate it. When you have a chapter, when you have a lodge, an individual comes to the chapter meeting or lodge, if they're not contributing to the well-being and maintaining harmony and peace within that chapter, within that lodge, they really don't need to be there. They do not need to be there. It would be the best advice for the patron or worthy matron is to say, sister, look, you're not contributing to the peace and harmony of the chapter. So either you're going to or you're not. Brother, you're not contributing to the peace or harmony of the lodge. You know, everything I say, you got to be combative about it. You know, you want to talk about this and bring this, but you got to do more than just that. Okay, you have to set the example of what your expectation is from that lodge or from that chapter. You have to be able to do that. If you're not able to do that, it ain't going to even happen. It is not going to happen. So this is what you get. And this is a lot of times why a lot of chapters and lodges are weak, you know. They truly are weak. And that doesn't benefit your grand lodge or your grand chapter when you're weak at what they're trying to present to you. If I'm trying to lay the foundation for you with my trial, with my level and my plumb, and I'm trying to give you wholesome instructions in the foundation of the chapter, and if you're not able to lay that star upon that foundation and stand on that point, it ain't even worth it. See, sisters, you're not working with the same tools as the brothers, and the brothers are not working as sisters. It's what you call balance. This is why when you see a lot of times a compass and square within the star, that is balance. The star gives rays to the compass and square, okay? And the compass and square give balance to the star. This is exactly what is taking place, you know. And this is why some people can't believe or understand why women have such an influence within Freemasonry. Yes, I said that. I said that women who are part of the Order of the Eastern Star have an influence in Freemasonry. Although they're not supposed to have that type of influence, but they do. And when they have that type of influence, it disturbs the harmony. Because I've seen brothers get kicked out of the lodge because of a female. I've seen females get kicked out of the chapter because of a brother. And you need to have balance when you're doing things like that. And for the most part, there is no balance, so this is what you get. Okay, you get disharmony. It says that harmony being the strength of all societies, more especially of ours. And with that being said, it is the job of the patron. It is the job of the worthy matron. It is the job of the junior ward and senior ward to maintain harmony. It is the job of the wishful master to maintain harmony. There's a lot to be said when you have harmony. You know, greetings everyone who's coming on. I appreciate you tuning in. It is a blessing to see those who are in the chat today, you know, just perking up things. I appreciate it. It really means a lot. Greetings, brothers from Mississippi. What's going on from Mississippi? That's my home place. Under the most... Oh, really? Okay, give my regards to Grandmaster Gerard Smith. That's my boy out of Mississippi. He and I go way back. I mean, years. I raised him when he was coming through my lodge. He's actually a brother from Hosea Lodge number 7, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons here in California, John G. Jones. That's that. I'm just giving a shout out to Grandmaster Smith out of Mississippi, you know, and the work that he's doing. Just giving him a shout out. Let him know I thought about him and talked about him. Back to the topic at hand, dealing with these sisters and brothers and standing on that point, on that square, and finding that balance and dealing with each other and working with each other, making sure that you find harmony within the framework of establishing and having a great Masonic meeting, a great chapter meeting. That is absolutely essential. Brothers, I'm going to say this if you're a patron. I'm going to say this even if you're not a patron. But in your contact with a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, when you come in contact with that sister, please maintain some dignity and respect. I know, look, I know, bruh, I know that they can get on your last dime, your last nerve, I know. But you who are stronger need to maintain that firmness and understanding. For the sisters, I'm going to say the same thing. You need to be able to maintain some respect and dignity for that brother. I know he don't know what you know. I get it. He's not able to talk with you on that level of the Order of the Eastern Star. I get it. But he is a Mason. And because he is, you are. That's a fact. Because he is, you are. So there needs to be some framework of respect and dignity. And if you have anything to say to him out of character, of representing those 5 points, please, you two needs to take a sidebar and have a conversation. That's how you handle that. That's how it's handled. Because I'm going to say this, because of some of the sisters of the Order of the Eastern Star, you keep a lot of Masonic lodges afloat. Because some of the brothers they're not as dedicated as you are. Let's just be honest. They don't carry the purse, but you do. I'm just being bluntly honest, okay? And then the same can be said about some of the sisters of the Order of these, some of your chapters, you know? And it's very important that the brothers of the craft protect the sisters of the Order. I'm gonna say that again. It is very important that the brothers of the craft protect the sisters of the Order. I'm not talking about dog them out. I'm not talking about taking advantage of them. I'm talking about protecting them. Like take for instance, if a sister, she's a single mom, and you know she's a single mom, all right? She needs some assistance as far as getting something done around her place, maybe even taking her car, getting an oil change, or whatever that situation may be looking like. Brothers, look, take the sister, help her get an oil change. You know why? Because there are predators out there who's going to try to take full advantage of that sister. You know that, and I know that, okay? You know that there are individuals out there who want to say, well, not only do you need your tires rotated, you need some brakes. And if the sister's not up on her game, she's gonna say, damn, just go ahead and fix it. And it may not even need to be fixed. So you brothers of the craft have to be aware of that and assist and aid that sister. And the same thing can go for some of the sisters. As you assist a brother in navigating some of the issues that they may even come across, dealing with baby mama drama. I mean, I'm talking like this because a lot of times sisters understand how to deal with another woman who may be giving a man hell. This person is giving this brother hell. They're not part of the Eastern Star, okay? But this brother is dating this sister, and she is giving him the heebie-jeebies. The sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, being a woman, knows how to deal with another woman in such a way to give this brother some good and wholesome instructions. But he has to be willing to listen, okay? This is why we are needed. We're needed like that. And another thing, when a brother of the craft or a sister of the Order who has dedicated their time and services for the benefit of the organization, they have done these things. They've been in now 5-6 years deep. And when they fall on hard times, be it a brother or a sister, you know they made it to the meetings, you know they participated, you know all these things about them. The best thing a chapter or a lodge can do for that individual is to assist and aid them. Make sure that your lodge, your chapter, your grand lodge, your grand chapter have some way of assisting and aiding that brother or that sister to get a place to stay, or to help them get the rent paid or the mortgage assistance, whatever it takes. Pull your resources together to make sure that that person doesn't fall. This is one of the benefits I enjoy as a Mason. I'm not saying I can't enjoy it nowhere else. I never said that. I'm saying this is why I enjoy it here. Because when you take that oath, that obligation, when you standing on that point, standing on that square, it means something. It just doesn't mean that I took an oath or an obligation just out the blue. Go back and read what you said or what you said you would do or would not do for someone for someone whom you have found to be worthy and well qualified. Go back and look. Here's what I can say based upon the multiple rituals that I have. None of those rituals particularly calls out your Grand Lodge or your Grand Chapter. It doesn't even mention particularly your Grand Lodge and Grand Chapter in that oath or obligation. It mentions individuals, not by name, but by participation. Your oath and obligation is to your Grand Lodge, your Grand Chapter, and to individuals whom you have found worthy to lend assistance to. This is why it's important in the Freemasons and the Order of the Eastern Star. Yeah, we give charity, but the charity that we really should be giving is to those who are in our organization and they've been there and dedicated to it. So when they fall on times, hard times, we should be there to aid them and assist them. I'm gonna tell you something right now. I have an older sister, Irma Jean Smiley. I love her to death. She is my mother at this time in my life. Well, she's one of my mothers at this time in my life. I love her dearly. And right now, at her age, she's ill, okay? She can't do what she used to do last year. She gets tired. She's weak. So as a brother of the craft, it is my duty that I owe to that sister is to make sure that whatever I can do for her, I do it. Be it financially or whatever it takes. If I can do it for that sister, I'm obligated to do it. That's how I feel. That's what I got out of my obligation. That's what I took out of my oath. And I would say the same for a sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. I'd say the same thing to her. Absolutely. Obligated. You know what that means to be obligated? I don't think some of you do. Because I think when you have a falling out with a person, you take the falling out so hard. Unless this falling out has caused you some harm or hurt, has put you in a financial bind, then I can see it. I ain't messing with you. I get it. But if it has not done those things to you, then I would say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna keep my eye on you, brother. I'm gonna keep my eye on you, sister. But we're gonna work together to make it better. And what happens a lot of times, we don't give sisters or brothers that opportunity. We don't give it to them. Now, if they do it to me again, you gotta let them go. But we must understand, when we are standing on our square, when we're standing on our point, we should not be moved so easily as to throw everything away. We should not be moved so easily as to throw everything away. So as I come to a conclusion, I'm looking forward to heading to Arizona here real soon, do some fellowship in Arizona. Man, this thing we call Freemasonry is a beautiful organization. As long as those who are part of it can protect it, can keep it, can keep it. As long as you can hold it and keep it, it's a great organization. So until next time, peace and be well. And for everyone who was in the chat, I want to say thank you. Brother says, let me see, this brother said, I look forward to being raised that may be able to fulfill the assistance of those in need. Until then, I remain steadfast in my studies that I may be fully prepared. Brother, that's right on time. OG Classic, that's it right there. That's it. A new sister of the Order of the Eastern Star, I really appreciate you. Hey, Stacy, look, I appreciate you. And if you want to join our Zoom study session for the Order of the Eastern Star. If you are a member of the Order of the Eastern Star and want to join our live Zoom, it's a private Zoom that we do. You're welcome to do it. You can email me. Email me. Listen closely because I can't put it in the chat right now. Email me at jgjafam@yahoo.com. Tell me that you want to join a Zoom, that you're Eastern Star, and you're certainly welcome to do so. This is all for educational purposes, really to build up that next sister. And also, brothers, if you are Eastern Star, you're certainly welcome to join too. Until next time, peace and be well. Stay out the bushes, keep your light on. I'm here to help you study, but I'm not your study guide. Peace.